Hey, how's it going? Been doing some reflecting. Those of us who play in this community, mm, myself included, sometimes take ourselves a wee bit too seriously. Really, no audio. Thanks, Pragmatic. I don't know why. Okay, all good. Some of us who play in these precincts, I guess, tend to take ourselves too seriously. I think I've taken myself way too seriously. But I want to tell you a little story. I want to tell you a story of an organization that was gathered around to promote positive atheism. And once upon a time, that organization that was promoting positive atheism um, was basically talking about atheism. And they thought, being a 501c3 corporation, they couldn't talk about other topics aside from a God belief. They were a 501c3, not a 501c6. So they weren't Madeline Murray O'Hare, although they hailed from the same town in a big state. And they had a call-in show. They had a call-in show that gained some traction locally, and then nationally, and then some of the folks that showed up on the show were rather pretty articulate. They had a lot to say. As it turns out, some of the people that showed up on that show, on this show that turned into several shows that turned into a thing that they kind of did, were rather diverse. The one thing they held in common was a lack of a belief in God. And that lack of a God belief held them together for a good long time. Still holds them together, actually, and still promoting those ideals. Still all good. But like any community that's drawn together around, strangely enough, in this case, a lack of a belief, it's like, hey, I don't believe in God. Do you? No, don't believe in God. Are you Republican? Yeah. Are you Democrat? Yeah. Are you uh yeah. And so, being devoted to one thing, um, one center of, I'm an atheist and people don't like me place in the world, kind of gravitated together. But, you know, no one thing can unify people entirely, right? Because, particularly not a lack of a God belief. And that's not particularly a unifying thing, is it? I mean, there are atheists that are godless commies. There are atheists that are passionate liberals. There are atheists that are devoted Republicans. Let's be serious. I mean, I certainly have known them. I've met pretty much everyone. I don't expect atheists to understand the struggles of uh, black people or gay people or Native Americans or even trans people. What I do kind of hope for in my interactions in the atheist community, running into people who go beyond. Who go beyond dropping the lack of a God belief to dropping the ideas and the notions that God belief, usually in the United States, Christian belief, has indoctrinated them into. And for me, I've hoped, perhaps forlornly, that more rather than fewer of people who lack that God belief also believe in bodily autonomy, in humanistic values, in the value of skepticism. I've hoped for that. I often see it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's not there altogether the way I'd like to see it. I don't expect everybody to enjoy my content. I don't expect anyone to, I don't expect anything of anyone at this point. I think we all have something to give. But I do want people to be aware of some things that are important to me. It's important to me more than that people lack a God belief, that people share a belief in the possibilities of people to be good without God. And by good, I mean able to listen. And able to inquire, particularly of theists, what their beliefs lead them to do. Because whether you're a theist or an atheist, you're gonna hold a pattern of beliefs that lead you to do something in the real world. And those are the things that I think are more important than what you believe and why, in the abstract sense. To me, it's what do you do and why. Which is why it's not to my taste, except in in terms of just laughing about it. To hear people talk about the earth is flat, or the flood happened, or the this or the that or the other thing. Me, it just doesn't matter. When in so many spaces, I've encountered people who hold those views that also hold the view that I cannot be possible. And if I've been impatient, as I have been, and I know I have been, people who just simply want to count the number of the members of the chorus line lining up to dance on the Pinhead stage. I'm sorry. That's your jam? Cool. You do it. But for me, I'm not there for that. And when I get passionate, as someone earlier said, when I talk slow, I've been criticized for talking fast. I've been criticized for talking slow. I've been criticized for being this. I've been criticized for being that. Don't mind. When I get passionate, when I become incensed over something, it's mostly because people are doing shit that's not good, or saying shit that's not good. You look at the content on my channel, you'll see a lot of shit that I think is good. Some, and a lot of shit that I think is not good. It wasn't good for me to lash out against a particular streamer. Doc Dino, I'm talking to you. Putting a face on a particular take. Making it personal. That was shitty of me. I apologize. I do. I do. I have. What I'd beg of everyone to do, and what I hope to do in future, is to remember this is showbiz, and we all create our characters here. And we all sometimes mistake the character for the person. I made that mistake a month and a half ago. Um, I hope not to do it again. But I will say something else. It's important for people who come together in, recognition of one common fact, a lack of a God belief, to listen to one another and to care. That community I described allowed one of its members to be hurt and allowed one of its members to be hurt and hurt again. And that it let another one of its members to be hurt and hurt again. We need to think. You can't go from 2018 to 2022 doing the same thing over and over and over again, hurting the same people, not the same individuals, but the same people, and expect no one to call you out or not to have any fallout. You can't. And in a particularly small community of creators on YouTube, often the same players are involved. And sometimes the same issues. Another, same issue arose a month ago. Not even. Almost the same players, but almost the same kind of incident. I just get tired. Honestly, get tired. People get their back stuck up and they're doing their this and they're doing their that. Animosity arises and shit goes back and forth and back, and it's like, what the fuck? And Okay, I think more attention needs to be paid to the actual factuals than the emotions involved. I'm going to be really careful about uh, details and stuff, but damn it, I'm. There are some things I just can't take. One of the things I can't take is going after my friends. When somebody makes a mistake, when somebody screws up, maybe does something that tangentially it's like because they want to be a show business kid like me, like we all do. That's okay. When somebody when somebody goes to uh when somebody goes to a person's workplace and uh, shouts out the name of their abuser, of someone working there, there's abuser, like Stanley Kowalski standing out in the street and screaming Stella and Streetcar Named Desire, and somebody does that, and the person working there is my friend, I'm not going to be happy with that. I'm not going to be happy with that. Especially not when the people there in that person's space, they stop it and you tell them to go fuck themselves. Not going to be happy with that. Not. And I'm not going to be sad when somebody who does that sends me a message and tells me I'm a drunk, tells me I'm evil. Because I was one of the people that said, hey, not cool, dude. Not cool. I'm just not going to be happy. You know, it's okay. It's okay. You know, come at me for supporting my friends. Just do it. Okay. I will live my life. I will go away. I will live my life. I will forget about that. Just don't hurt my friends. Okay? Fair? Or will you not be so nice next time? You probably won't be. You probably weren't. And so here we are. I'm trying to bear no ill will, and I'm sorry that I've caused so many people to bear me ill will. I'm old and tired, and I've fought a long time. And I so be as nasty as you like. Be as fucking nasty as you like because you any more than I all. Good night.